Hey everyone, it's Sydney. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I am finally going to answer pretty much all of your questions that you've either left on TikTok or in comments of my previous videos. So I'm going to try to get through all of them. I'm pretty sure I wrote all of them down. I'm so sorry if I missed yours somehow, but yeah, let's just jump right in. A lot of these questions that you guys have, I'm happy to explain them in more detail too, so sound off in the comments, like let me know which ones you want me to talk about more and I can make like a whole video just touching on that one question or topic. So yeah, anything that I mention in here, if you want to hear more, let me know. I'm like totally happy to do whatever you guys want me to talk about. So I was sentenced to a year and 1 day, so that it would be technically in prison rather than county jail. But with my time off for good behavior, I got a third of my time off, so I ended up only doing 8 months. So I went in middle of July of 2019, and I just got out in the beginning of March 4th of 2020. Next question is, how did I get arrested? And I actually just filmed like a whole video about like why I got arrested and like the whole process of how that happened. So I'm not going to go too much into detail in this video, but that video is coming soon, probably sometime next week, hopefully. Next question is, did I have a prior criminal record? No. I have literally never gotten in trouble before, like not even a little bit, not even when I was a kid. My criminal record was literally like the shortest that they had ever seen in that prison. Like it was literally just one charge, one count, like one thing, and that was it. Okay, I guess I might as well just like come out and say it right now. I was gonna wait till later in the video, but like obviously the question that I've got the most like throughout this whole thing is like, what did I get arrested for? Why did I get arrested? Some variation of that question. Why I went to prison. Long story short, I sold coke. There is like a much longer story, and I'm gonna get into that in another video. Like I said, I already made it, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. It also is just like kind of hard to talk about, and like for a long time I was really embarrassed, and which is why I didn't post it in my very first video that I uploaded where I said I was going to prison, but better late than never, right? Someone also asked which prison I was at. So originally when I first got there, I was at the main women's prison in Washington, which is Washington Correction Center for Women. And then about a month and a half after I went through intake and receiving and all that, I moved to the only other women's prison in Washington State, which is Mission Creek Correction Center. Someone asked, what college did you go to? What were you studying and what year are you? So I went to Central Washington University and I majored in IT, which is information technology, and administrative management, and specialized in administrative management. I was supposed to also specialize in retail management. However, after I got arrested, the police like told my school about my situation, and my school suspended me for 2 quarters. So since I still had like 2 quarters left, and I got suspended for fall and winter quarter, I basically just had to condense all my classes into 1 quarter, so I had to drop my second specialization and just do the administrative one. I also got a lot of questions about like how my parents reacted, how my family's reaction was, how they took it, and like how they are doing now. And that is one that I think I am going to do like a full video on because it's a long story, and I did wait like 3 months after getting arrested before even telling my parents about it because I was so scared. They actually took it really well though. They were really supportive. Like obviously they were upset. Obviously it's disappointing and kind of like came as a shock to them, but overall I feel like that whole experience really made my family come closer together, and like they visited me all the time. I am so grateful for that. Like I literally every day in prison I was like so happy that I have such a supportive family by my side. It was really nice. Next question is, what are you doing now, / future plans? So I got out March 4th and have been in quarantine since like March 15th. So literally my plan was like, okay, I'm going to take like a week or 2 to just chill, see everyone that I want to see, like readjust, and then start the whole process of like integrating back into like normal life. Like I was so excited because I had so many plans for myself that I set up and like a lot of goals, and was really excited to just jump in and like really grab life by the balls. And then it was like, just kidding, everything shut down. So it definitely has made me steer things in a different direction for now and put everything on hold in a way. So as of right now, I'm not working. I'm pretty much just chilling at home, making YouTube videos, really using this time more to just work on myself so that I can be even more prepared once I do dive back into the real world and start working and stuff like that. Okay, next question is, did you make any friends in there? Yes, I did. I made some really close friends, and I was so thankful for that. I kind of talk about it more in my video about my assumptions versus the reality of me going to prison, so I'll link that below if you want to check it out. But I definitely wasn't expecting to like make friends and like build strong relationships, but I actually made quite a few friends and was friendly with like other people too that weren't like considered my close friends. So yeah. Did you have pen pals? Yes, I did. And that's another one that I'm going to make a whole video on. I had quite a few pen pals, and my friend put me on like a website that you can, you know, message an inmate. So I got a lot of messages on JPay and also letters written in the mail. And some people I would just like talk to a little bit, but there was a few that I had like conversations with on a regular basis throughout my entire sentence, which was really nice. It kept me sane, and it was just really good to still have interactions with the outside world, talk to people that I weren't like my immediate friends or family, or the people that were in the prison. Okay, this person asks, was it violent and what made you get through it? It was not very violent at all. Especially in minimum security, because it's not any violent offenses. And if it was, the people that did have violent offenses, they had been through CCU, which is like max security, then got promoted to medium security, and then got promoted to minimum security, and were in their last 4 years of their sentence. So like they weren't gonna screw that up. And truly, I feel like people learn from their mistakes. And again, this is something that I really touched on in my assumptions video about the fact that it was not as like scary and violent as I expected. What helped me get through it, like the whole sentence in general, was meditating. I read also like a ton of self-help and like spiritual books that really kept my head clear and like kept me motivated and mindful and excited to live life and like just really positive. I would love to make a video for you guys of the books that I read and like which ones I recommend if you guys are interested, especially since we're quarantined. Next question is kind of similar. Were there any fights and did you get beat up or anything? No, I didn't see one fight. Like, no, I didn't see any fights. And it's like, yeah, that's good, but at the same time, like, it would have been a really cool story, you know, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing that there was no fights, but I kind of wish I had some more exciting stories to tell. But no, I didn't get beat up. Didn't get beat up. Actually, though, I did see, like, something kind of crazy when I was, like, in a class that was in a building. We had, like, a window, and you could see out into the yard. And this girl and her girlfriend were, like, sitting at the bench. And I just saw that one of the girls, she just like grabbed the other girl by the back of her hair and like slammed her into the table, just like as hard as she could into like the metal table. And then nobody saw anything, like the guards or anything didn't even see. And the only people that saw were the people that were in the class with me, and we were like, what the fuck, oh my god. Like, and then her face was all bruised. She didn't say anything. It was kind of crazy, but that was like literally the most violent thing I saw the entire time in there. Other than that, any fights were like really just like, you know, people yelling, talking shit. Oh, that's funny. And the next question says, do you have any crazy stories about what happened while you were in there? Yeah, that one that I just mentioned. And yes, I have plenty more stories, even though I didn't see any physical fights. I have so many crazy stories about my time in there, and those will all come in later videos. So please make sure you subscribe and click the bell notification so you will get notified anytime I post a new video, and then you can keep up with me and hear about all the crazy stories that I have to tell. Okay, next question. Have you watched Orange is the New Black, and how does it compare to your experience? I actually got a lot of questions regarding Orange is the New Black and if it's like realistic and stuff. I haven't watched the show in a really long time. I watched the first like 3 seasons maybe back when they like came out, which is kind of all that I had to go off of when going into prison. I like didn't know anything besides like watching that and like Prison Break and like other stupid shows like that. There was some things that they definitely got right. I feel like in general, yes, but it really just depends on where you are. Every place is really different, and I've learned that just from watching like other people on YouTube that I've noticed talk about their experience in prison. Things vary a lot because my experience definitely had a lot of things differing from their own experiences. One thing that I can just think of off the top of my head with that show is like when Pennsylvania gets her dentures, and she gets her new teeth, you know, and she's all showing them off. That was something that was actually really real. Everyone got like free dentures if they needed them, you know, and usually that is like pretty expensive to do on your own, so it's pretty cool that they offer that and can do it all for you there. And it was so cute every time someone got their dentures and were so happy. They'd be smiling from ear to ear. Like, it was the best thing to see in there, like so wholesome, just everyone smiling, cheesing their big teeth, and yeah, really cute. Someone asked, did they offer any classes or anything in there that you took? Yeah, they had a bunch of classes. Where I was at the smaller facility, there wasn't as much like programs and things to do as the main women's prison because it was a lot smaller. I want to say we only had like 300 to 500 people, so there wasn't as much, but there was like high school GED classes if you don't have your GED. They also had some like college level classes, which I should have taken advantage of, but I didn't because for the first 3 months of my time in that prison, I had to take like a mandatory drug class, which took up most of my day. And then even though I could have taken like evening classes for the college classes, I wanted to use that time to go to the gym. So I never ended up taking any of those classes. They had other classes like quilting, and then we had volunteers come in to teach yoga every week and Zumba, which I did both of those, and I love them so much. Like, best part of my week was taking both of those classes. And then they also had a like inmate run program where it was all about like women helping women help themselves, and so they would have like different like 4-week long classes, and they were all taught by like a different inmate to just try to build our skill sets and whatever, and it was always just random things. Some of them was like a health and wellness informational class, other ones were like interview skills, like job readiness, stuff like that. So yeah, there was plenty of things to fill your schedule and keep you busy. They had like Spanish 101, stuff like that. Okay, I got so many questions about food, like what was prison food like. I'm gonna start with this question though because I really like it. If you're vegetarian or vegan, do they care or you just get what you're given? So I am actually vegetarian, or like technically pescatarian, because I eat seafood, but I have been for like 9 years now, and I was really nervous about that. Literally going into it, I was like, I'm not going to be able to eat anything. Like, I definitely didn't think that they would accommodate my special diet, but they did. They didn't have like a pescatarian or a vegetarian option, but they had a vegan option. So it was all like pre-packaged meals that came from like one certain facility, and then they shipped out to all the prisons across the state. And they had vegan, kosher, and halal. I'm trying to think if there was any other ones, but I don't think so. And same thing, they just come in like those packages. So yeah, there is those options. So I got on the vegan diet right away. The only thing that sucked is that sometimes I wanted like the other meals, you know, and I wasn't allowed. You would get in trouble. You get in trouble for sharing food. So other questions I got about the prison food was like, is prison food bad? Yeah, it's not great, but it's honestly better than I expected it to be. It wasn't just like mush slop. Like, a lot of people still complained about it, but it's like, dude, what do you expect? You're in prison. I don't know, I just had like such a grateful attitude about things, you know, and such a like, oh, at least it's not as bad as this, or like, it could be a lot worse type mindset. So no, the prison food was not that bad, but it's definitely not as good as what you would have on the outs, obviously. Favorite prison food, so for the vegan diet, there was like this one meal that I really liked that was like a vegan burger and coconut curry rice with peas. That was like my favorite one. And so they would like rotate. We would get usually the same thing once or twice a week. So any time that I got that one for lunch or dinner, I was like super stoked. I was really sad that I wasn't on the regular diet on days that we had like tuna sandwiches, and sometimes they would do grilled tuna, so they would actually like grill the tuna sandwich, which was so delicious. So sometimes I would like trade my peanut butter and jelly with like someone that I knew, and we would just try not to get caught. So yeah, grilled tuna was like my favorite meal. And then we like made a lot of meals as well, like a lot of desserts just on our own with food that we got on canteen and commissary. And prison brownies was like the go-to most delicious thing that me and my roommates made, and I'm definitely gonna film a video, like a little cooking show, showing you guys that recipe because it was so good. And it will also be interesting to see if it was actually so good, like if I eat it now in real life, if I still think it's good, or if it's just the fact that like everything that was even somewhat delicious tasted like way better because I was in there and didn't have anything else. Okay, moving on from food. Someone asked, is it actually bad though? Just about prison in general. It's all about your outlook on things, like yes and no. Obviously, it's not great. Like, and I think also, if you have been watching my other videos, like it seems like I was literally in the best place ever just because of how I talk about it. Like I definitely don't touch on a lot of the bad stuff about it because just for the place that I'm at right now, I don't want to be looking back on it in a negative light because it is still so fresh and new and I'm still trying to adjust. And I don't know, it was hard in there at times, like it really was, for a number of reasons, being disrespected by other people and by the cops and just being away from my family and friends and everything that I know. There was a lot of negativity in there and like it was really tough. But throughout my whole time in there, what got me through it was just like not focusing on that, but rather focusing on what I still had, what was still good. Like I was such a grateful person in there and still am today, but like literally every single morning I would wake up and think like I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head still, like I still have shelter, I still have showers, I still have blankets and pillows, like just the littlest things that you start to appreciate more. That doesn't necessarily come naturally, but I forced myself to be in that sort of mindset so that I wasn't just focusing on, I can't believe I'm in here today, like I hate my life, can't believe that I don't have this and don't have that and don't have that, like, because that's no way to live your life, and it's not the right way to live your life when you are not in prison either, in my opinion. Like, if you focus more on like what you lack, you will get more lack, but if you focus on what you have and what you're grateful for, you will get more of that and you will get more abundance flowing to you. That's a whole nother video, but I'm really passionate about it and just really am such a firm believer in that, and really like your mindset is everything. It can get you through anything. So was it that bad? Yes, it sucked in there, but was my experience personally that bad? No, because I made the best of it. Next question, what were the people like? There is literally no answer for this because you see every type of person under the sun. Like, there was old people, there was some young people. I was pretty much the youngest. There was like a few other people my age. People from every sort of walks of life, you know, people that were literally living on the streets and homeless, to people that were living as millionaires and got arrested and put in prison for embezzlement or fraud. So there's no one answer to that. Like, one thing I do have to say is that a lot of people were in there for drugs, which I don't think is necessarily the case in other prisons, in other states, because other states like California, where the crime rate is much higher, they are less likely to take up a bed space for someone that just has like a possession or like a tiny delivery charge like mine was. But where I was in Washington State, like it was a lot of like drug related crimes, so not necessarily all possession or delivery, but like people committing certain crimes to get money to do more drugs. Like I said, any type of people in there, like every branch, like it wasn't even like a spectrum, it was like literally so many different people and a lot of like crazy people too. Like, I'm just thinking about like some certain people. I'm so happy I'm out of there, you guys. I'm really happy to be here. Okay, I think this is the last question. I hope I got to all of them. I hope I didn't miss any. But the last question is, what was your favorite thing about prison? And this is a tough one because, like I said, I had such a grateful outlook on things. Like every day I would write down new things that I was grateful for, but I think like the top thing that really was my favorite about prison was the fact that I got roomed with such great roommates. Like I feel like who you are sharing a living space with is so important and like makes all the difference in the world of how your experience is. And I was scared going into prison, you know, I didn't know what to expect, and I got put in a room with 3 of like the most coolest, amazing girls. They were all like similar in age to me, well, like between like 25 and 30. I'm 23, but we just had so much fun together. They were really lovely people, like love them so much, and I just made really good friends, like, and it was so nice. We got along really well and I miss them. Oh, that reminds me, another question that I remember seeing, but I guess I didn't write it down, is if I am still in contact with anyone. I still talk to people, like my old friends and roommates that have already got out, either before me or after me. We talk on like Snapchat or Instagram, whatever, text. And then one of my old roommates slash friend, that is still in there. I heard from her once, we talked on the phone, but I haven't heard from her since then. But yeah, it kind of sucks because like I can't call her, she just has to call me. And I could download JPay and, you know, send her messages, but honestly I refuse to give any more of my money to the monopoly that is like prison communications. Alright, like I said, let me know any things that you want me to give a full video for and I can talk more about it. You can also let me know like which ones you want to see first, because I haven't filmed any other ones besides the story of why and how I got arrested. I hope this was informative and somewhat entertaining. Shout out to everyone that came here from TikTok. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and check out my other videos. I hope you're all staying positive and grateful for your life, even though we are in this super crazy time right now, and I will see you guys next time.